Hey everyone, this is David B. If you ask someone to name a Halloween song, they're probably going to say the Monster Mash. So in this video, I want to go through the lyrics to the Monster Mash and teach you the story and explain some of the vocabulary. So if we take a look, the song is called Monster Mash and it's by Bobby Boris Pickett and was released in 1962. It's a novelty song, meaning that it's about a specific topic. In this case, it's a Halloween song, and it's just associated with this time of year. I was working in the lab late one night. The narrator of the song is a mad scientist, which that phrase, mad scientist, you can imagine kind of a mysterious, maybe even evil scientist working alone in a lab, and there's beakers and test tubes full of different colored liquids and there's smoke rising from them, and he's performing some strange science experiment. The next line, when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. Beheld is the past tense of behold, which means to see or to witness. Eerie sight, eerie just means strange or unusual. For my monster from his slab began to rise. So this is an allusion to Frankenstein's monster. So we can imagine that someone created this monster and is going to bring it to life. Slab means like a big flat surface, like a rock or a table. So we can imagine this monster laying down on this slab and then getting up. And suddenly, to my surprise, and now we have the chorus. And I didn't repeat it in the lyrics here, but the chorus has slight variations that play off of each of the verses, but they mostly follow the same lyrics. So he did the mash, he did the monster mash. So Monster Mash is actually the name of the dance that the monster is doing. That word mash, you don't really see used in other contexts. I was looking it up, and I think it's actually a reference to another dance that was popular at that time called the mashed potato, but you won't see the word mash used to describe other dances. But in this song, Monster Mash is the name of the dance. It was a graveyard smash. Smash means the same as hit in terms of songs. Sometimes you even hear smash hit. It just means that a song was popular. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. In a flash just means in a short time or very quickly. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. Okay, verse 2. From my laboratory in the castle east, just meaning the east part of the castle, to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. Master bedroom is the bedroom in the house that's the biggest, and usually the person who owns the house sleeps there. Vampires are a type of monster, and we'll see a lot of other mentions in this song of different kinds of monsters from classic horror movies. But Dracula is probably the most well-known vampire. Vampires bite humans to suck your blood to get energy. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes. Abodes means like the place that you live. So humble abode would mean kind of maybe a house that's not very fancy. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. In this context, we're thinking of electrodes. If you've seen Frankenstein's monster, it's like these things sticking out of the neck that if you would attach wires to it, you could shock him or he would shock you, something like that. So it's kind of also a play on ghouls sounding like girls. So in a certain way, it's like girls are attracted to him. Verse 3, the zombies were having fun. Again, zombies are just another kind of monster, like human bodies that are walking around but have no awareness or no soul. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. Just more references to horror movie monsters. The scene was rockin'. That just means like the party was really going. People were having fun. Everything was going well. All were digging the sounds. If you dig something, it means you really like it. Igor on chains. Igor, again, is just another character in horror movies, usually kind of the hunchbacked assistant. Backed by his baying hounds. Hounds means dogs, and baying means like barking or howling. The Coffin Bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. So these are just two fictional band names, the Coffin Bangers and the Crypt Kicker 5. Verse 4. Out from his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. So Drac is Dracula, and his voice did ring just means like he spoke, like you heard his voice. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania Twist?" Transylvania Twist would just be the name of another dance. So it's implying that his dance, the Transylvania Twist, used to be popular, but now people are doing the Monster Mash instead. So he's kind of mad about it. And again, these aren't real dances, they're just fictional. Verse 5. Now everything's cool. Drax a part of the band. So Dracula got over it and now he joined in. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land, meaning it's the most popular thing around. It's the most popular dance right now. For you, the living, this mash was meant too. So here he's talking to us, the listeners of the song. We're not monsters, we're human beings, but we can also enjoy the Monster Mash. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. So it's kind of like when you get to a party, it's like you have to say, Boris sent me, and then they'll know that you're friends with someone and they'll let you in. At the end of the song, there's a spoken outro that's kind of funny, where Igor, who again is kind of the hunchbacked assistant, says, "Mash good." Like the Monster Mash is a good dance. And the scientist says, "Easy, Igor, you impetuous young boy." Impetuous is a word that means like someone who does something quickly and without thinking and without care. And then Igor says, "Mash good," and starts growling and things. So it's just a little bit funny. So those were the lyrics to the Monster Mash. And if you haven't heard the song, I encourage you to check it out because it's really a classic Halloween song that everyone knows. And it's a fun song to listen to this time of year. This is David B. Thanks for watching.